We're on day 20, can you believe it? Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and this is day 20 of the 25 days of Christmas. We only have 5 days left counting today, and 3 of those are working in the Pink Christmas Journal and trying to get it finished up. So today, well, earlier this morning in morning's video, we drew sticks. We're going to use identical tags tomorrow for Tag Tuesday. Today we're talking Inchies. Now, if you don't know what Inchies are pieces of art made on a 1-inch square piece of paper. Okay? So, this is a great place to use your scraps. I also have, now I've stretched out the inch a little bit. This is about 1.25 inches, but I'm going to show you why we're using this here in a minute. And then I've pre-cut some white pieces of paper that I could use. Don't know if I'm going to, because the tool I was going to use, I broke in the first video. So we're gonna set that one aside. But I wanted to let you know, I have got my signatures stitched in. Drove me crazy. I don't know why these gave me such a fit this morning, trying to get them in, get them where they belong. They fought with me. The third signature went where it needed to go. The other 2 came up too high, but it's okay. I also picked up my white chamois fur from Dollar Tree, and this is what I'm going to use on the spine of the journal. So we have that going for us. Now let's talk about the Inchies. Inchies are 1-inch square pieces of paper that are used to make art. That's simple. So there's one of my scraps. It is exactly 1 inch. And then we're just going to go through and we're going to cut it at 1-inch squares. I'm only going to do 3 or 4 of these here. I am trying to get involved in book stuff all this week. I want to be ready to jump when I finally get book 2 finished and can get it out into the world. And so I'm looking at a new program. It's actually a course on helping me build my marketing strategy for my books. And so that's going to start taking up some of my time. But I also know that crafters are readers. Now, I know you would love to have them an audiobook. I am researching Amazon's audio program. We'll see how those go. I've got a couple of books to check out and see how they are. Now, I could, that one's going to be just a little bit smaller. Let's get another one of these in here. This would work. This will work. Move this out of the way. Bob is downstairs building me a shelf so I can set my fan up over here and not be melting. Okay, that's going to clip right under there. And then I can save this. I want to put this on the spine, but I'm not sure how it's going to go on that fur. So we're going to have to play with that one. But then I really hate when people use the slang, and I correct myself and everybody else. It's not I've got, it's I have. You don't need got, it's I have. Okay, I'm just going to punch a few of these here. Now, if you have been to my channel before, you might have an idea what I'm doing with these. And I'm going to do a couple of things, actually. And I'm going to try and do it rather quickly. Because just because they're square, they can be 1-inch circles, they can be 1-inch squares, they can be 1-inch diamonds, whatever you want them to be. So I have those. And then I'm going to get the paper trimmer out of my way. And I'm going to get out another scrap. And we're going to go to our 1-inch circle. And try to stick to the 1-inch thing here. Let's go with this one. That's got a nice pattern to it. And we're going to punch a bunch of these. And see, I can try to be more detailed with where that circle punches and actually punch the design. Punch one more here. And then we have that piece of scrap for later. Okay, we have our circles. We have squares. We have these squares. I am having real problems picking things up. I think I need to go back and get my nails done so I can pick things up. And then we have these. Now these are just a hair over the 1/4 inch, or 1.25 inches, but they are punched from the paper. And I don't know if I've got another piece of it out or not. Yeah. Well, it's still attached. Hang on. It's still part of the paper. But it's this one right here. And I punched several of those out to work with. Now we can do these as their own individual art. I got out pink Pirouette ink so that I could dust the edges of these white ones and kind of tone them down a little bit. So they're not quite starch white. Now, I can do one or two things with these. Well, multiple things with these, but one of two that I'm thinking of is just to run them down as a side of a page. We can do that. And I'm going to get about 6 of these done to make sure I've got enough to work with. And I don't have to just do the edges. I can swirl that over top of the design as well. And tone that white down all the way around. Okay, let me slide those away. Put the lid on that. And then let's bring in our book with our pages. And I know that I want to use the white pages for the borders. So I'm going to take, and it's 9 inches. So I'm going to cut a strip of paper 9 inches, and I think this one will be actually pretty close. Close enough, close enough. That I'm going to take, and I'm just going to start running glue down. Let me take my cheaters off so they don't fall into the mix. And I want to start with a circle. And again, I could dust these. I don't remember, we're not vintaging on these. We're not using the browns on this one. We're using pinks and whites. And I could push that one up there. And then I'm going to just run a bead of glue there. And come in with this Inchie and go here. Come in with this Inchie and add some color. And then I'm going to come back in with another circle. I found I love doing these border pieces. When I did the game, the game pieces that I did for one of Julie's challenges, doing that game piece border was one of my favorite things to do. I'm going to switch that one around so we get to keep the stars up at the top. So if you have a bunch of scraps, this is the thing to do. Get out your scraps, punch your shapes, cut them, punch them. I bet you're wondering why I'm not touched these over here, huh? Well, you're going to find out just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, there. And then we're going to do this. Add another one of these, and I'm trying to keep my stars and stuff up near the top. And I got room for one more set of this. Whoops, let's get him over there. And one more set of this. And then I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to put one of these on the bottom. Now I could turn it cattywampus and let it follow that diamond down. And there I have a page border with just scraps. And you don't think about what you can get from a 1-inch piece of paper till you do this. Till you cut them apart and just start playing. Now the other thing we could do is, and I don't know if, let me cut another one of these from off of a white scrap. Because I just want it to be on the background. We can do this. We're going to create a cluster. I think we have time. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl that around just like that. And then I'm going to come back with this. And I think I'm just going to use the squares on this one. And I need an off one there, don't I? Let me see what's in here. Let's put a piece of this one in there. No, I want to do a square. I want a square. Ah! Shouldn't be this hard to cut a square, right? Okay. So we're going to pretend this is a square without measuring it. And we're going to put this one right there. And then we're going to put this one right in the middle. Just like that. And if I'd have taken more time to really run these around in more of a pattern. And then I'm going to come back with one of these. And get to my sticky scissors here. And let's get us a dot in the center. Okay. And then we can put that right in the center. And then we have a cluster for our page. Just that easy. So that's going to do it for me today. Tomorrow we'll be back with twin tags. And I already have the punch pulled out that I want to use. And I will see you back here tomorrow. In the meantime, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and get out your scraps and start snipping and gluing. I'll see you tomorrow. Creative Christmas blessings.